It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Well, a good morning to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, and this morning I have Robert Warner with Florida Fisherman magazine, if I can get my finger on the button here. Good morning, Robert, and thank you so much for joining me this morning.
And good morning to the Fish Florida Show.
So have you done any fishing this last week?
Nope, been working on the magazine. Fishing February or September 4th and 5th down in Key Largo. But until then, I'm working on the magazine, and I'm going to take a trip to Savannah next week. So.
Oh, cool. Well, those who aren't familiar, the magazine is online. You can find it online. Let's try that again. Florida Fisherman Magazine. Still waking up. Florida Fisherman Magazine, digital magazine. Oh, my gosh, there's so much in the magazine, from videos to pictures to stories. And we've had the opportunity of having some of those people that are contributing to the magazine on the air with us as well on the show. By the way,
Stephanie Lynn, who you've had on the show, will actually be on the cover of this one. So.
It is a contributor-supported magazine, so if you have something that you think is of interest, you can send it to Robert, and if it falls along his guidelines, I'm sure he'll be happy to stick it in the magazine for you. If they want to do that.
Absolutely. We always love news stories and articles, and no matter where you're from, I don't care if you're from Florida or Texas or Louisiana or where you're from, it doesn't matter. Just send them in. So.
Yeah, and if they want to do that, they do it primarily by email. And how do they do that?
Yeah, just send anything you've got to pages@flfishmag.com.
And like I said, I won't speak for him personally, but I'm sure that if it falls along his guidelines, he'll be happy to add it in. And like you said, he's looking for, always looking for new people. So anyway, usually I have Pam Worth, one of the top anglers, kayak anglers here in Florida. She is out there kayak angling this morning. She's out. She's out of bounds.
She's out there kayaking somewhere. So.
She's out of bounds this morning. She's not able to call in, and Robert was kind enough to step up and co-host with me. And it's always an honor to have you on as well. So today I got.
I appreciate that.
Leiza Fitzgerald with CCA is coming on today, and she's going to give us an update. I think it's going to be rather exciting. I think I know what she's going to tell me, but wait till I hear from her. Rick Southerland with Southerland Tours, he's going to be on today. Paul Reenen, we missed him last week. He's going to explain what happened. He had a bit of an emergency with unfair lures. And then we're going to have Angelia Swanson, the Florida Salty Cowgirl. We're going to have her on for 2 slots. She's coming back, I want to say home, but she's coming back to Florida. She's been in Alaska. What a dream job she has had, Robert. My goodness. Have you seen some of the posts that she has?
I have.
Oh,
yep.
My gosh. So she's going to, I actually left 2 slots open for her because I think she has so much to share with us. With regard to what's happening up there and her experience up there. So a dream job. Oh, my gosh, just a dream job. To be there for the summertime, because I'm not a winter guy. I mean, that's why I live in Florida. I've experienced winters briefly, thank you, God. But I experienced winter in Denver, Colorado while I was in the Air Force. They sent me to school there. I don't even think the base is there anymore. It was called Larry Air Base at the time. So I experienced winter there. I experienced winter when I was a young child visiting my aunts up in Massachusetts. I experienced winter, believe it or not, in the panhandle of Florida where it snowed. I don't like cold. I don't know why. I don't like cold.
Yeah, I did 2 winters in Colorado, and that took care of me in winter forever. So.
Well, Colorado for me, it was the end of May. And it was snow flurrying. It was just getting into like almost the first week of June, and it was snow flurrying. I said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this." It reminded me of being here in Florida with regard to the rain, how it can be sunny and beautiful, and in 10 minutes from now, it looks like it's the end of the world. Well, it's like that there, but instead of it's raining, it's snowing. It's just crazy. So, I've always been a warm weather guy for me. So we'll have
and you're going to have Rick Southerland on today, who's a regular part of the magazine, which is great.
Oh, great. I wasn't aware of that. See, I'm always learning. Wow. Good.
Yeah, Rick does an article every month for us. He's our freshwater editor for the magazine. So.
Yeah, I like to hear from him from time to time because most, I don't. It just kind of works out this way. Most of the guests are saltwater. They're either West Coast or East Coast, and don't get a lot of freshwater feedback. So I enjoy having people like him on and giving us an update of what's going on out there and what's happening. So
he's a good one. He's a great guy, and he's very knowledgeable and does a great article every month. So.
Well, that's great. And by the way, if you miss any part of the show or if you want to find any of our archives, that's easy to do. You just go to www.fishfloridashow.com. You'll find the archives there. Just go to past events. You can also, there's many different ways you can listen to us. The easiest of all of them is the Fish Florida app. We actually have an app. We're part of the Fish Florida Alliance. To join the Alliance is a giant benefit. I'll go into that in a few minutes, but we're part of the Alliance, and the Alliance covers the Fish Florida app and the Fish Florida show along with the Fish Florida app. That's the easiest of all the ways to listen to us. But if you would rather listen to us another way, there's other ways you can do that. You can go online. You can, if you're a Facebook person, you can go on Facebook and find our page on Facebook and click on Contact Us. That will get you directly to the server. You can go to fishfloridashow.com, listen live. You can do that there as well. And if you don't want to do any of that, but you have a phone with unlimited time, you can actually call 701-719-9704. So we try to make it as easy as possible to catch the show. And ever so grateful for the Fish Florida Alliance that has provided us the platform to do all of this stuff. Go ahead. You were going to say something, Robert?
No. I was just all the different ways to get onto the show or to get to listen to it. I mean, you got to be able to find one of those, I would think. So.
We try to make it as easy as possible. For me, it's always learning. I'm always learning. I didn't realize that Rick Southerland was part of the makeup of the magazine. Did you? And I think Leiza Fitzgerald ended up doing a.
Yeah, she was in the magazine this issue. She's in it. The CCA and Leiza are in the current issue of the magazine that's up right now.
Yeah, so. Yeah. So that's great because these are people that they give back. I mean, to me, part of the show that I do, the reason I do it is to give back, to give those people out there. I never pretended to be a professional at fishing. The thing I loved about fishing, and I've said many times, is that in my family, in my experience, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen in everybody else's, but in my experience, it was fishing that was a commonality in our family that we did on a regular basis, and I believe because of that, it was kind of sort of the glue in the relationships that we had, and there's no question in my mind. There is a direct attack upon families today. It has been going on for some time. So we need all the help we can get to hold each other together. And fishing happened to be, in my experience, one of those things, and that's why I like sharing it with other people, because it can be. You're sharing the same experience with someone that you love and you care about. That helps build the relationships, and we need all the strengths between relationships that we can get nowadays, because everything is just want to tear us apart. It's not the way it was when I was younger. It's just completely changed. So that's one of the reasons I love doing this show, and I always learn. I had never realized that there were fish that weren't supposed to come out of the water. I never knew that. I'm not ashamed to tell you that, but I never knew that. I didn't know that until I started doing the show. I didn't realize that there are ways that you preferably hold a fish so that when you return it, when you catch and release, when you return it, you're not harming, you're doing the least amount of harm to the fish possible. I never knew any of that stuff. And that's the kind of stuff I like to hear. And I know that some of the listeners that listen, they don't know that either. They may not admit it, but they don't know that either. And it's a learning experience for all of us. It's always something new that comes up. So anything
that'll help people get outdoors is great with me. So.
And I think you're headed
I don't
outdoors.
care if they're going fishing or where they're headed. As a matter of fact, yes, we are headed for Jonathan Dickinson State Park right now. My wife rides mountain bikes, and we are headed there. And I will do the show while she's riding, and then we'll do something else. So.
I want to go back and I haven't visited that in quite some time, but it used to be a really phenomenal park. I think that was one of them.
It is. It's a huge park.
Yeah. And do they
It is a huge
fish
park, and
inside
there's a
the
group
park?
there called Club Scrub that you can find on Facebook, and they organize bike rides and barbecues and all sorts of great stuff. So.
Sweet. And what's it called? Club
Scrub.
Club Scrub on Facebook.
Yeah, like Scrub Bush, which is the park is full of. So.
Yeah. Club Scrub. Cool. Is there fishing in the park? I don't remember.
There is fishing in the park. As a matter of fact, I normally go down by the lake, and there's where they have a big kayak thing. As a matter of fact, it's every June they do a big paddle sports thing, and but where they launch them down there's a little island out in the middle, and there are always snook all over that little island.
Oh my goodness!
So,
wow. And
you can hear them popping if you're out there first thing in the morning. So
there's a whole bunch of variety of, activities you can do, right? I think they have paddle boards and canoes and not paddle boards. Yeah, paddle boards.
Yeah, they have a boat tour. They have paddle boards, canoes, bike trails, hiking trails. They have everything. So
yeah. So there's somewhere that you can go if you don't have a boat for whatever reason, or you really don't want to go out on a boat and go fishing. Or maybe you don't want to go fishing today. You just want to go outside. There's a place you can go. We got a lot of places like that here in Palm Beach County, which very impressive to me. I grew up in Miami, and a lot of the parks, people didn't utilize the parks back then. I don't know how it is now. They didn't utilize them like we do today, and take advantage of what we have. We have some very nice parks here in Palm Beach County. Okeechobee Park is another huge park that you can do.
Well, the state is full of great parks, and we have this great weather. There's no reason to not be outside. I know it's a little warm this time of year, but take a lot of water with you.
Yeah, and just take a spray bottle and just kind of mist yourself every once in a while. Not soak yourself, but just a very light mist, and that'll help. That'll help keep you cool. When I go walking with my dog in the morning, we usually do about an hour in the morning, 45 minutes to an hour. But by the time I get back, it looks like I took a shower. It looks like I was caught in the rain. I'm just soaked from head to toe. Just a lot of humidity out there, and it gets pretty hot, but it's bearable. It's not like the reason I'm sweating my behind off is because we're putting it, we're slamming the concrete with it, going pretty quick sometimes. But if you're just out there laying,
and the fact that it's 95 degrees doesn't help either. But
if you're out there laying on the sand and just sitting on the side of a seawall and fishing, it's just different. It's a different deal. Yeah, it's still hot, but it's tolerable to me. Again, I'm not a cold water guy. Can't do. I don't know why. Can't do with the cold water. The cold weather stuff. And I was saying paddle boards, but I think it's pedal boats. Maybe that's what. Do they have pedal boats?
They don't have those anymore. No.
Yeah. So those
I used to have those.
I used to enjoy that. That was you can get in a couple of us would get in the boats and we just speed around with those little things, pedaling our little legs off. Those are a lot of fun. Wow. Yes, I've got to go back there and see that. And is there do you have to pay to get in? I think you pay by the carload, right? Do I remember right?
By the car. I think it's $4 a car to get in.
Yeah. So my gosh, if there's 6 of you and you pay $4, it's not even $1 a piece to get in and go enjoy. I think that's great.
It's funny you mentioned fog too. We just got closer to Hope Sound and hit the fog.
Oh, did you really?
Foggy.
Wow.
Foggish.
Yeah. Wow.
It was probably foggy earlier, but it's just sort of hanging in the air now. So.
Yeah, right about now it's all burning off by now. But it was a nice, pleasant surprise and cool and when it's like that, of course, everything around it's moist, so it feels very cool. But it was surprising to see us. Oh my gosh, a little early for that, isn't it? To be seeing that?
Yeah.
Well, it is.
Well, maybe we'll have a nice cool winter. Who knows?
Yeah. That would be now a cool winter I can handle. An air-conditioned winter. I tell people we have 2 seasons here. We have hot and hotter. So the hot I can handle. The hotter is a little more difficult, but the hot I can handle. And the hot is our winter. The hot is basically our winter.
Yeah, it's actually rain and no rain. We have rain all summer, and then it doesn't rain all winter. So.
I like that. Well, and I refer to the rain as liquid sunshine. We have to be politically correct. It's liquid sunshine, and it's here and it's there and it's everywhere. Sometimes it is. What was I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, let me move on to the next thing. So you haven't done any fishing this last week. Do you know of any tournaments that are going on?
There's a tournament going on today in Crystal River. It's been going on all weekend. It's a breast cancer awareness tournament. It's called Save the Tatas, and it's been going on since Friday evening, and it's going on in Crystal River today.
Save the Tatas. I think that's Spanish. Yep. Spanish for breasts is what that is.
Yeah.
Save the breasts, yeah.
I don't think it's Spanish, but it's sure that is what it means.
Those of you who are not aware, I have a Middle Eastern background, and grandma in Arabic is Teta, and my kids used to call my mom Teta, and being in Miami, and Teta and Tatas are close, they would get some looks. This little kid, what is that little kid saying over there? He's saying grandma. It's funny how in the different languages the words can be so meaning completely different things. But yeah, that's Save the Tatas. Great. I'm always for anybody that's to put an end to this suffering. I've had cancer twice, and anybody wants to know about
the tournament is actually a benefit for Jen Hoop. Those who know who Jen Hoop was a great female angler who lived in the area. She died a few months back now. And so this will be an annual tournament for her. And it's a shame, but it happens, and at least she helped bring a lot of awareness to this and helped organize a lot of things before she passed. Made way more people aware of the fact that this is not only women, it's men that get this, and it's tragic, but at least the tournament is for a good cause. So.
Yeah, that's and I'm happy to mention them on the show. Anything that again, this benefits everybody. If you don't have the problem, but you know somebody who does, wouldn't you rather celebrate that they have found a way to deal with it rather than die from it? Isn't that a benefit to both of you? So again, everybody benefits. So one of those things where everybody benefits. What I like about what's going on is that there's more and more therapy that is going on. They're getting away from the chemicals and they're moving into therapy, which is the way it should be when they're dealing with this stuff. So more and more of that. So that's very uplifting. That's very inspiring. Anyway, so that's the only thing that you know of going on. I thought.
Well, that's going on, and anybody that hasn't, I don't know if they catch the Facebook page that we have, but the mahi bite in the Keys has just been ridiculous. It is. That's why I'm headed down there shortly. I've got to get in on this. There's just boatloads of them coming in.
Wow. When are you going down?
I'm going down the 4th and 5th.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday and
Thursday. I don't fish on weekends. I don't go out with all of the idiots. So I'm sorry. All of them.
No, listen. You're talking to somebody who grew up in Miami. Imagine what it was like in Miami.
No, it just gets crazy out there on weekends.
It does.
And
it's like a parking lot sometimes. It's
all sorts of stuff going on. It's just much better to go fish during the week. So.
In the days when I used to go shrimping in the bay, it was literally like a parking lot. I did it maybe 4 or 5 times, and I got so disgusted with it I wouldn't do it anymore. It was literally like a parking lot. You had to watch out for other boats. And can you imagine being on the water and having to watch out for another boat hitting you? That's how many boats would be out there. I don't know what it's like now, but it was just outrageous. So I can understand what you're saying. So that's why when I would go fishing, I would like to go at night. So the majority of people stay away from that. And my preference would be to do it like on a Friday night because I was working Monday through Friday, but my preference would be to do it like on a Friday night if possible. If not, I'd just take a day off work and go during the weekdays. because I didn't want to put up with the nonsense. There was just nonsense. Anytime you get a number, as soon as the numbers go up, the numbers for everything goes up. So if you have a lot of people utilizing something, then inevitably you're going to get somebody in there that's abusing it, in one way or another. And that's what I was seeing during the weekends. So I understand what you're saying. So it'll be Wednesday or Thursday. Cool. I want to go down there too. I haven't been down in a while, and I really miss that. Are you going down to Isla Morada? Is that what you're headed?
I'm going to fish in Key Largo, and but what you mentioned is great. Night fishing. There's a couple of the bigger party boats down there that do night trips, and if you've never done one of those in the Keys, you should.
Yeah.
It's beautiful out there at night.
It's gorgeous.
It's calm. It's beautiful out. There's a billion stars, and if you catch something, that's like a benefit, but or a bonus. But it's just great to be out there at night. If you've never done that, you should do it at least once, just to say you did it. So
it is an enjoyable and a lifelong experience. Something you remember for, I promise you, for the rest of your life. Anyway, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. Don't go away. It's the Fish Florida Show here in Florida, and we'll be. I lost my train of thought. I'm having a hard time this morning. I'm still doing it without coffee, though. I'm up there, and I'm doing it without coffee.
Good for you. No caffeine and still running.
Here we go.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Leiza Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Grace has some pretty stellar arms, like Serena Williams good, but her face is pretty disgusting.
Someone please tell him to go back into his closet and leave us alone.
Britney's face is so stupid and I hate her so much. It's like a scientist created her in a lab to annoy humanity and didn't even do that good of a job.
Megan reminds me of a troll doll that came to life intent on killing us with her stupidity.
Why is Grace's head so big? It definitely has nothing to do with how smart she is and probably everything to do with how bloated she is.
He's so funny. Just kidding. Who would find this disfigured flamingo funny?
Never post a selfie of yourself. You look so ugly.
The only reason you have so many views is because we think you're a freak and we can't look away.
Megan is the main reason that the world sucks so much.
I would rather get cancer than listen to another Trevor Moran song.
You are a mistake. You should have never been born.
Drown yourself in a shallow puddle, please.
Wow, I hope she's sterile.
These really stopped being funny a long time ago.
You're so much more than the things that people say about you.
Those people have no right to say cruel things to you to make themselves feel better.
It's okay that you sound different than everyone else.
That's what makes you so special.
We will not tolerate it. We will not tolerate it.
We will not tolerate it.
We will not tolerate it.
Every day, people make me feel like I stand out simply because of the way that I look.
Every day people make me feel small.
Every day I face the cruel words of bullying.
And every day people tell me that I'm brave for enduring this humiliation.
But we're not the brave ones.
It's the ones that say no to the bullying.
The witnesses.
If we all join together, there's nothing that we can't do. We will no longer be the silent majority.
When we see bullying online,
We will let the world know that we're going to take action with the eye.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
Our actions will overpower cruel words.
I am a witness.
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 There is power in words.
But it's nothing compared to the power of the actions that we put behind our words.
Visit eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'm gonna stand by you.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Shark, fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. Good morning to you if you're just joining us. We are here every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. I usually have Pam Worth with me as my co-host. She's out there doing her thing this morning. She is one of the top female kayak anglers here in Florida. And she's out of bounds. she's out of reach this morning, and in her place, God bless him, Robert Warner has agreed to put up with me for the show, and I'm ever so grateful. Thank you, Robert, for stepping up.
Anytime.
There.
I'm going to sit my phone down just for a second and help unload a bike, but I'll be right back.
Sure. Okay. And my next guest is Leiza Fitzgerald. Like I said earlier, I think she's got something exciting to share with us. Good morning, Miss Leiza.
Well, good morning, Riscala. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. I was just kind of joking around. For somebody who doesn't drink coffee at all anymore, the only day I used to drink coffee would be Sunday morning. Ever since the heart thing, I stopped doing the coffee, and it's a little bit of a hiccup here and there, but I'm waking up.
Well, I am a coffee drinker, but I only drink coffee first thing in the morning, and yeah, but I would have to say it would be a challenge for me to, to put that down. It just is it's a ritual. It's a habit that it's become. So,
there was a time when I drank multiple cups of coffee every day.
We
were in a high stress situation. It was not a good situation.
I can't have more than 1 cup, maybe 1.5 in the morning. If I have caffeine after, say, 10:30 or 11 o'clock, my nights are miserable. It affects me that badly.
Well, imagine, now I grew up in Miami, and the Cuban population has café con leche.
Oh, yeah.
And café con leche is a very strong... So if you're familiar
in my
with
younger years, when I was in I worked out of Homestead.
Oh, well, then you know.
I had I had café con leche every day, and had this great little place that I went to, and just loved it.
Well, one little cup of that is probably equal to 10 cups of regular coffee. So we used to drink multiple cups of that a day.
It used to really. Keep me, I hate to use the word wired, but that was
but that's
the word.
what it is. Yeah, you can definitely.
We must be discussing Cuban coffee.
We are discussing Cuban coffee, Robert. That's correct. Yes. How are you, sir?
I'm great, and yourself?
I'm fantastic. I have some great news for your listeners down there in Southeast Florida.
All right.
You got? So the STAR competition is still ongoing. It will cease on Labor Day. You can still get registered. And the cool thing is, I hear so often from our anglers down in the southeast side of Florida, oh, we don't have any redfish down here. You didn't release any redfish down here. Well, this past Thursday, we had an angler in Palm Beach off of one of the public docks catch a tagged iHeartRadio star-tagged redfish.
No way.
He was not registered in the competition.
Oh.
So what he did was he released that fish with the tag intact. It was a 27.5-inch redfish.
Wow. And where, can you tell us where it was caught? Can you tell us that?
I can't give you the exact location.
How about
Palm Beach area?
Only because it was it was re-released in that area, and what we don't want to have happen. I mean, you could probably go to our website and it would be there. It was off of a public, was out of a public park, and I'm trying to remember the name. If you give me some names of your public parks in Palm Beach, I could give you the location.
Do you know, was it Palm Beach County that it was caught in?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good enough. Wow. So that
you can go to our website, ccaflstar.com, and find the location there. It is there listed where these fish have been caught.
That's great. Yeah, we don't have a great deal of redfish in the southeastern part of the state, so.
Well, but we have been releasing them there every year.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad you're doing that, because when I grew up, there were none. Because I grew up down in Pompano, and there were zero. I fished every day, never caught a redfish in my life. So, yeah.
We've had many of them caught down there. We had one that was caught the very first year down in Card Sound. We had another one that was caught right there by the Sheridan Bridge. We've had several caught in Palm Beach County. With many of the reef restoration projects that's going on in Palm Beach County, and then in Broward has some really great areas that have good redfish habitat, and we've been releasing fish there now for 5 years, and have had fish from previous years recaptured down that way.
Good.
So they are surviving.
I have a silly question.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
I never caught a redfish growing up on the East Coast. Are they? What am I trying to say? Are they natural to this area, or are they?
There's a lot of them, Riscala. If you get up to like Vero Beach and into the Indian River Lagoon, there's a lot of them. South of there was never a lot, but now that they're stocking that area with them, that's great, and especially if they're surviving. I figured it was probably the water temperature.
One of the things that we have to do, Robert and Riscala, is we cannot bring fish from the West Coast to the East Coast. They have specific genetics. So the fish that we bring down from, for instance, we'll catch them in Vero, or we'll catch them up in Flagler or Volusia County, and then we bring them down and release them in the southeast counties. And so, these are East Coast fish that have just been relocated, so to speak. And I can tell you, it's been an interesting time for me, as I'm the one that releases them on the East Coast. And I have seen in Jensen Beach and as far south as that northern end of Palm Beach, I have seen fish. I get in there and I do some wade fishing in those areas, and I've seen redfish.
Wow.
And then you kind of skip over that South Palm Beach, Broward County, get down into Dade. And Dade, once you get down into Biscayne Bay has their own grouping of redfish down there as well. And Biscayne Bay is starting to get more and more redfish. And we've released, every year we've released 4 to 5 redfish in that Broward Dade area.
Wow.
So we're hoping that really.
Well, I'm glad they're surviving, and I'm glad they're thriving there, because they're great to catch.
I don't know if they're thriving, but I can tell you that they are surviving.
Well,
but
that's
this
part
guy,
of the battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And this gentleman who caught the fish actually had his choice of the prizes that were left over, and just so that you know, the prizes that are left over are nothing to scoff at. We've got the Contender with the Rolls axle trailer and a 200 Yamaha still available. We have a Hughes Redfisher, a Carolina Skiff 21, and a Relentless aluminum flats boat that is a custom boat all powered by Yamaha, and they're all on trailers.
Mm.
Every boat is valued at over $50,000.
And this is what's left over?
This is
Not
what's
bad.
left over. We've already had 2 winners in the iHeartRadio division, and they picked a brand new GMC pickup truck and a brand new Pathfinder 2200 TRS with Yamaha, Minn Kota trolling motor, iPilot on the bow, and a Solix unit on the center console.
Wow.
Not bad.
Now.
Not bad at all.
Not
And
bad
I wanted to
for-
thank you, by the way, for giving me all the information for the article last month. That was great. I appreciate it. It is
Well,
up and
we
running.
appreciate you supporting us. And, you know, one of the things that I try to remind everybody of is that, you know, I talk to guys all the time and they go, oh, well, I only catch catfish, or I only catch, you know, mangrove snapper, and you don't have a mangrove snapper division. Well, we have a power pole conservation division, and therefore every fish you catch when you're out fishing, you can submit into the competition for your opportunity to win prizes.
Sweet.
So in the power pole conservation division, it's a random drawing. So if you submit a, sea robin or a catfish or a toadfish or an undersized redfish or a ladyfish, we do a random drawing for a brand new power pole, for a brand new micro, and then all kinds of other prizes. So don't think just because you don't think you can catch a tagged redfish, you can't enter the competition.
Well,
see, there's something I bet everybody didn't know. I'm glad you mentioned that. So,
and she didn't mention that there's also a possibility of you will be rewarded one way or another, but you being financially compensated if you pick up trash. The only tournament I've ever heard of that actually has a component of that tournament. If you go out there and you help them clean up the water, So this is what I like about this stuff. Everybody wins. When everybody wins, I'm part of everybody. I got to do that. I got to do that.
Well, and you know, guys, what I want to share with you is the amount of data that this competition gathers. It's not just a fun fishing competition. This is designed to gather data on the species of fish, where
migratory
what
patterns,
areas, where they're caught, those kind of things. And we find from the data that we gather, other organizations such as University of Florida and Harbor Branch and all of these different organizations that may need information, the Sport Fish Association, all of these different organizations have the opportunity and access to this data and can determine different types of information. What is really going to be helpful, and I may have mentioned this before, but on the West Coast, we have data from the last 4 years previous to this hard-hit red tide and the number of fish that have been caught. And then we have this year's data that can be used to see truly how our fishing has been affected.
Right, the loss, yeah.
So that, you know, it's really a cool opportunity for different organizations. You know, we've collected the data. Now they have the opportunity to utilize it, and we share it freely. But you were talking about the trash division. I am so excited because I don't know that many of the youth know they can garner community service hours for gathering trash,
which they need for college.
Every high school student needs community service hours in order to, number one, graduate from high school, and it is great for them when they're applying to different colleges. And oftentimes, to get your community service hours, parents, listen to this, you have to set aside a certain weekend and go, you know, you've got to juggle schedules and try and, not with our star competition. All your youth have to do is go out and gather a 5-gallon bucket full of garbage. And for every 5-gallon bucket full of garbage that they gather, submit a picture of, and properly dispose of, they get a half an hour of community service. It's really easy. There's instructions on how to get their community service hours on our website. But man, I mean, how easy is that? Every day after school, if they go out to someplace near one of our coastal shorelines, one of the tributaries, and pick up garbage, and there's lots of it to gather, they get community service hours. It's a win-win.
Everybody
you could probably pick up like 15 hours every Monday. So.
Oh, I mean, goodness gracious, yes, and it's agitating to me. And even at the boat ramps, I've watched people come in with their boats, pull their boats out of the boat ramp, stop, unload all of their stuff out of their vehicle, out of their boat, and put it in their vehicle, get their big garbage bag, all their trash, put it in a bag, and just set it next to the road.
Yep. We have actually published pictures. I'm originally from the Keys, and we have published pictures of what it looks like on a Monday after a big holiday weekend in the Keys. It's just disgusting what people leave behind and just abandon and then expect someone else to come pick up after them. So, your mama's not here. Pick up after yourself. So.
Yeah, exactly. Mother Nature is not your housekeeper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's supposed to be the other way around.
Garbage pail either. We've got buckets. Pick it up and get rewarded for it. Wax Head Sun Defense. If you guys have not tried that sunscreen, let me just tell you, it's an all-natural sunscreen. It does not affect the reefs. And what is so cool is when you apply it, you can still touch your baits. You can still put your hand in the live well and not have to worry that it kills your baits.
Oh, wow.
Would you send me the information on that, please?
Yes, I will. It's Wax Head Sun Defense. For ladies, the really cool thing is they have a tinted screen that you can put on your face. It's not, it's a zinc oxide base, and it's tinted to match. You put it on your face, and it looks like your skin. You don't have that white with the zinc oxide look. It's really very cool. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, send me the link to that. I will help those folks out.
They're doing great things, and I'm going to invite both of you to our awards ceremony on October the 19th in Melbourne, Florida.
Cool.
We will be awarding all of the prizes for STAR and $100,000 in college scholarships. And if you have never experienced kids getting their scholarships, I get goosebumps even talking about it. To date, we've awarded $400,000 in college scholarships through the STAR competition and our partnership with other companies who've helped fund this project.
Wow.
Once we have this event, we will have awarded $500,000 in college scholarships to kids just for going fishing with their families over the summer.
How cool is that? How cool is that?
That's a great thing.
So it's October the 19th from 5 to 9:30 at the Melbourne Auditorium. You can go to our CCA Florida Star website to get tickets. It's only $55 for a ticket. You don't have to be a winner in order to get to go. It's open bar. You can have a dinner from Texas Cattle Company. We'll have live entertainment, raffles, and oh my goodness, the goodie bag that you get is worth like $80. So you pay $55. You get a STAR T-shirt, a Real Tree Fishing Turvis tumbler that Boaters Exchange did for us, and then all kinds of other cool stuff from Costa Sunglasses and Minn Kota. All of our sponsors give us items for the bag.
If now this is on a website, right?
It is. It's on October the 19th.
Okay, give out the website. The website address is
the
what?
The website is www.ccaflstar.com. That's ccaflstar.com. And you are able to get your tickets there and find further information on the event.
Great. You know,
CCAFL Star. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We actually ran over time, but I didn't want to cut you off because what you were giving out was important.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Thank
it's
you
all right.
so much
I don't
for
mind
your
doing
support.
it. Don't mind doing it because it's a great cause. Everybody wins. I got to support that because I'm part of everybody. Wish you a wonderful day, my dear.
If you guys want to come, we'd love to have you.
Thank you so very much.
I'll be there.
Enjoy your.
Have a great day, guys.
Thank you. We'll talk
You
to you
too.
soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, here we go.
Red Pill Reality Show on the LNM Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What's up, Ricky Dillon here at the largest social media gathering in the world. So the internet is an amazing place, but sometimes it can be a not so great place with online bullying and trolling and stuff. Have you ever seen online bullying before?
Unfortunately, it's kind of common. Online, people can hide behind the internet. Those comment sections can be a little
harsh.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a good word for it.
I've been called many homophobic names.
I felt embarrassed. I felt humiliated. It made me stop liking myself.
What if I told you there is something that you can use anytime that you see bullying online that calls attention to it in a nice way? Like, hey, that's not nice.
I wish that was the thing.
It's this! So anytime that you see any kind of hate online, go into your phone, go into the symbol section, post this I, and it says that that's bullying, that's not nice. So would you post this if you saw someone bullying someone?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a lot more mature way to handle situations. Find the emoji in your phone, send it to 5 of your friends, and let them know what it means to be a witness.
Go to eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more about the emoji.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478. Diane Whittick at Bowen Realty, located in Wellington at Wellington Trace East and Forest Hill Boulevard. 561-247-5478.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
Well, that was the wrong. I don't know what happened there, but the board. Well, I don't know how. I'm flabbergasted. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, we're back. It's the Fish Florida Show. I'm still kind of shaking my head. Anyway, let's let me get back to my guest here. My goodness, I still don't understand what that all was about. That was crazy. All right, Robert, we are back, and I have with us Rick Southerland with Southerland Tours. Hello, Rick. Hello, Robert.
Hey,
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey, Rick. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. I am actually out here watching manatee in Central Florida.
Oh, how sweet is that?
I kid you not. We're on a boat. We did the show, of course, live this morning, and we were fishing a little canal, and all of a sudden we seen a snout come up, and I was like, "What in the world is that?" And when we got to looking, it was two of them. There's two manatees here at Lake Griffin, Central Florida, going up and down the canal. Unbelievable.
Wow. How cool. How
That's
cool
incredible.
is that?
Must have some connection to a outside tributary somewhere. So.
Yeah.
Well, yes, this is actually we're on Lake Griffin, which is actually a connection of the Harris Chain of Lakes, and it's the only one that has a natural river that comes into it. So they must be swimming up the river and come in here. So,
yeah.
But amazing, just something I didn't think I was going to see this morning.
Wow.
They're great visitors.
We used to see them constantly. We had saltwater canals in Coral Gables, and they would be in the canals constantly. To me, it was kind of a freakish looking animal. It looked almost like a dog. It has almost like a dog face, but then it's got this big flipper in the back. And
right.
So yeah, they always intrigued me. And from what I understand, they're kind of vegetarians, right? They don't eat meat. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Best thing you can do if you see one, throw them a head of lettuce. They love them.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How cool is that? Yeah, there were times when we would try to swim with them, but they'd spook off very quickly, or swim around them. Actually, I'd never really get to swim with them, but swim around them. But they would spook off very quickly, and they were babies, and it was some great experiences with what we called sea cows. That was our nickname for them, and they were all through, especially down in around the power plants. When it gets cold,
anywhere there's warm water.
Yeah, when it gets cold, the power plants output warm water, and they hang around that area, and you can see quite a few of them. They are awesome creatures. They really are.
While you've got Rick on here, I want to thank him for the articles every month. They are awesome, Rick, and we thank you, and everybody else thanks you too. So
good job.
Hey, no worries. I enjoy it. I mean, I get out here every week, and of course, like I said, on Southern Outdoors, we do a live show, so we get out here, and I mean, a lot of people overlook the freshwater here in Florida, and the freshwater fishing is phenomenal. It's some of the best in the country. But I know we have great saltwater fishing, so, but, I don't want anybody
I could just never find a freshwater editor that was consistent and that would send me regular stuff until I found you. So now we get a great roundup every month of what's going on and what baits to use, and great stuff, Rick. Thanks.
Well, I tell you what, the magazine is very well put together. That Florida Fisherman magazine is very well put together. So I have no problems at all.
I agree.
It. I mean, it looks spectacular.
Yeah, very well done. Lots of work put into it. So have you been doing any fishing there?
Oh, yeah. I'm on the water now.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course, a lot of people at this time of year, they don't realize that there's tournaments to get into, even though it's real hot. Well, last weekend I fished a tournament, but they have them at night. It was a night tournament. And what a lot of people don't realize is that nighttime fishing in Florida is spectacular. I mean, during the day, we have all the pontoon boats and wave runners. A lot of them fish will go into hiding, and they'll come out and feed at night. And it is spectacular fishing. And there's a lot of open tournaments for this, and you can go to, the Fish Florida mobile app and find the tournaments listed on there under tournaments.
Yeah.
And you can actually find it there, Victoria Brinkley, we stand behind her, and she has that Fish Florida app, and download it. It's a free download. Check it out. So if you're looking for tournaments to fish at night, that's where you'll find them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I announced earlier that it was part of the Alliance. I inadvertently said Alliance. It's actually the association. It's the Fish Florida Association. And if you want more information, contact me, and I'll tell you how you can get more information about it. It's like an alliance. I think of it as an alliance because of all the advantages that you get. But it is, the Fish Florida Show is part of the Fish Florida Association, which in a way kind of sort of is an alliance of different businesses coming together. And
we were also discussing night fishing earlier, and anybody who has never gone night fishing should. You owe it to yourself to do that. We do a lot of snook fishing at night, And we were mentioning the Keys earlier. Anybody that's never gone out on one of those big party boats at night, just to sit out there, it is absolutely beautiful.
Especially on a full moon.
It's cool. Yeah, it's nice and cool. It's good time to go out there here, and when you do freshwater fishing, make sure you take a spotlight because you'll see the eyes looking back at you. out there.
Yeah, and we go nights. We go snook fishing at night. We just look for the docks with lights on them. So
that's funny with the eyes looking back at. That's true. That is really true. I remember those days. Yeah, but you know what? What other eyes look back at you are frogs too, because I remember the days of going out there and gigging frogs. We would
every
see
once
the
in a while a
frogs.
gator too. So
yeah, we don't. Oh, it was a lot of gators. It was a lot of gators. That's why I was laughing.
Every once in a while you hit the eyes and they're about a foot apart. And,
You're in trouble.
So you go the other way.
Whoops. Didn't mean to do that one. That was a big frog there now. Oh, my goodness. All right. So you're out there on the water right now. And what part of Florida are you in, just to be clear?
Oh, Central Florida. We're on part of the Harris Channel Lake, which is about 30 miles west of Orlando. And just great fishing here at the Harris Channel Lake. I did a show last week, and I ended the show with a 6-pounder. I mean, it was great.
Wow.
Water action. I love it.
Wow.
So, I mean, and we've already been on here. Like I said, we did a show this morning. We caught one live on the show, and we've caught probably 4 this morning already.
My goodness.
Just
gotta love a 6-pounder on a topwater.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It was so nice. And to have it recorded live, you know. I mean, when I do a live show, I can go out and I can catch none. I can catch one. But when you actually hook into a 6-pounder on top water, you know, my daughter did the camera. She did a great job. And, I mean, it was just phenomenal.
Wow. I'm getting a little bit of a breakup when you're talking. It's coming in and out. I don't know if it's because of the reception that you're in the area that you're in. Are you in a sparse area?
I'm actually in downtown Leesburg.
Oh.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
Now comes to downtown Leesburg. But
it's kind of coming in and out. That's
kind
why.
of floating a little bit. So.
Well, it could be our connection as well. All right, my friend. Well, thank you for taking the time to call in. I greatly appreciate that. Anything you want to leave us with? Now, I understand also before we go, I got to make sure I point this out. You're a guide as well, right?
No, sir.
Oh, I thought you were. Okay. See, I'm learning.
No, I'm a competitive bass angler, and now I take people out with me, and we'll do the show together. But really, I'm just a competitive bass angler who loves the outdoors, and I take the family with me, and it's kind of a family thing. Like I said, my daughter records, my wife records, and we just get out here and we do a live show. You can find us at Southerland Outdoors on the internet, as well as we do it live from Facebook. And
well, did
I got to
you
get up there I got to get up there sometime and do the show with you. So.
Was there
it's open.
Was there a Southerland Tours? I don't know why that's in my mind. What did you have?
It's Southerland Outdoors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've asked me that a couple of times, but no, I don't do any guiding that.
Okay.
Okay. Because I don't want to sit there and watch people fish. I want to fish too.
Good for you.
That's what it's about. You got to bring your own rod and reel. You got to go and catch them. Now I show the people on the boat, of course. My tips and tactics, but I don't go to any secret place. I go to public places where anybody else can go. And it's just about getting out and enjoying it. That's what we do at Southern Outdoors.
Hot dog. All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you taking time to call in. I hope you have an awesome day out there, and we'll be talking to you again and getting updates from you.
Very good. It's beautiful. Get out in the outdoors.
There you go. All right, my friends. It's that magic moment. It won't be long, but we'll be right back. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What's up, Ricky Dillon here at the largest social media gathering in the world. So the internet is an amazing place, but sometimes it can be a not so great place with online bullying and trolling and stuff. Have you ever seen online bullying before?
Unfortunately, it's kind of common. Online, people can hide behind the internet. Those comment sections can be a little
harsh.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a good word for it.
I've been called many homophobic names.
I felt embarrassed I felt humiliated. It made me stop liking myself.
What if I told you there is something that you can use anytime that you see bullying online that calls attention to it in a nice way? Like, hey, that's not nice.
I wish that was the thing.
It's this! So anytime that you see any kind of hate online, go into your phone, go into the symbol section, post this I, and it says that that's bullying, that's not nice. So would you post this if you saw someone bullying someone?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a lot more mature way to handle situations. Find the emoji in your phone, send it to 5 of your friends, and let them know what it means to be a witness.
Go to eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more about the emoji.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478. Diane Whittick at Bowen Realty, located in Wellington at Wellington Trace East and Forest Hill Boulevard. 561-247-5478.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. Good morning. If you're just joining us, you can catch up anything that you missed on the archives. The archives are available at www.fishfloridashow.com. Many different ways you can listen to us. You can, actually, the easiest of all of those ways is download an absolutely free app that Rick Southerland had mentioned, my last guest had mentioned. Absolutely free to download, free to use. I don't like those guys that tell me it's a free download, then I download it and only find out that it's just free to download. From that point forward, if you expect a full working app, you have to pay, regardless of whatever it may be, whether it's $1 or $1.50, whatever that might be. It's just misleading, and we're not like that. We don't do that. So you can download the app, and you can listen to us on the app. You can become part of the Fish Florida Association. If you want more information about that, email me. You can email me, and the way to do that is the word me, M-E, at Riscala Stevens. It's RISCALLASTEVENS riscolastevens.com. Me at riscolastevens.com. I'll get you more information about the Fish Florida Association. And it's, I mentioned alliance earlier. It's kind of because it is like an alliance. You'll be joining up with some people who are genuine, and you'll have some nice benefits as well as giving back. One of the things that I try to support in whatever way, shape, form is to give people who give back. Well, this part of this association is the giving back. We give back to preserving the environment and helping to promote preservation and the things that so we all enjoy. Again, it's one of those things where if everybody benefits, how can you not support something like that? Because aren't you part of everybody? All right, we are back. Robert, thank you for taking the time to join me today. I greatly appreciate that.
Not a problem.
Are you
Enjoy being here. So
you're all set up at the park now? Is it nice and sunny?
Oh yeah, we're all set up and biking. So I'm not biking yet. I'm on the radio.
I don't hear you. Hear you.
My wife is biking.
I don't hear you huffing and puffing.
No, it's hard to ride and do this. So.
Well, I am grateful that you're taking the time to spend with us this morning. As our next guest should be coming on here in just a moment. It should be Paul Van Reenen.
Got a moment.
Yep.
There is something I wanted to mention.
Sure.
We lost a great human being last Sunday.
Oh.
I woke up Monday to find out that we had lost Tofil Bourgeois, who is a phenomenal, or was a phenomenal fisherman out of New Orleans. He also was part of the magazine every month, and he ran a seaplane venture where you could go out to the Chandelier Islands on a seaplane and fish. And there was a weather issue and a plane crash. He had two people on board. They both survived. He did not. The funeral, I believe, is today, and I had the unfortunate job of talking to his wife on Monday and Tuesday. There will be an entire article on it in this upcoming issue, written partly by her. He was an incredible man. He was a great sense of humor, a brilliant guy, a great businessman. They have a fishing lodge there. They run multiple boats out of there for fishing in the New Orleans area and the bayous and out Chandelier Islands. But great guy. He's going to be sorely missed by me and by many, many others. Just a great human being and a tragic loss. So
condolences to the family.
My heart goes out to all of them, and thoughts and prayers are with them all. So.
How sad. Was he? I know. I vaguely remember something about. I think you may have posted something about it. Was he like a bush pilot kind of guy? They land like really quick and. Because they're out there on the islands?
He ran seaplanes, 2 seaplanes.
Oh, seaplane, okay. All right.
And they would take off from the bayous and just south of New Orleans and fly out to the Chandelier Islands and wade fish. The water's very shallow there. And, just some enormous speckled trout and redfish that they used to bring in out of there. But he's going to be missed a lot. So.
Well, it's sad that tragic accidents like that occur. It's part of life, unfortunately. But remember the family and the prayers, and make it as comfortable as can be. That's the best that we can do.
Yep.
It is part of life. It's one of the reasons that we try to. I do my best to promote whatever is positive, because you never know. I mean, my goodness, just.
Well, and that's the thing. He was such a positive guy. I mean, he was just always upbeat, had a great, like I said, just a phenomenal sense of humor. There's one, as a matter of fact, it'll be one of the excerpts in the article. He's got these people out just after the Hurricane Irma, and it's all cloudy, and he's out by these Chandelier Islands. You can see all the clouds in the background, and it's dark, and the water's all murky. And he leans over to the camera. It's at the end of the fishing report, and he goes, "Are you scared?" Because if you're scared, you need to stay home. So,
oh my!
But he was just a great guy. I'm going to miss him a lot, and just like I said, thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends because he had a bunch of them. So,
well, I mean, if he's writing for the magazine, I can imagine lots of fans. I'm waiting to hear from Paul. I don't understand what happened with Paul. should have heard from him by now. So we'll just kind of hang on and hang in there and see what transpires from that.
Well, while we're missing Paul, everybody keep in mind that snook season opens September 1st, so that's right around the corner.
That's a week away.
All those snook that you've been watching for the last month or two will be absolutely gone on September 1st.
Yes.
They have an internal clock. I don't know how that works exactly, but you will not find a single one of them where they used to be. So.
Well, that's why they call it schools of fish.
Yeah. But
they're getting educated, you know. All right, it's time.
I mean, they've been stacked up in the Jupiter Inlet. I mean, 20 deep. I guarantee you, Jupiter Inlet will be empty on September 1st. And
so, if somebody was to go to Jupiter Inlet and they're looking for snook, where and what part of the inlet? The part that goes out to the ocean?
Along the rocks. Yeah, right along the rocks. They just stack up in there.
But I mean, there's the mouth, I guess you would call it. Are they located inwards of that, inland of that, or are they located
just inside the inlet, just inside the rocks, all along the sides of the rocks?
And what is a preferred bait?
They just sit there on the incoming tide waiting for anything that comes through.
Okay, so you would fish on an incoming tide. And what would be a preferred bait?
Live mullet, live shrimp. There's a myriad of lures that work for them. All the lures that look like finger mullet work really well. DOA shrimp work really well. But you just gotta. The bigger ones don't move around a lot. They just like to sit and wait for the food to come to them. So you pretty much got to hit them on the head with it. But
what used to amaze me, I think I shared this on another show. When I was very young, one of the places that we would go fishing was Naples. They had I don't know if it's still there, but they had a beautiful pier. And I would love to go out there at night. It was really nicely lit, and I would see it was nice and cool, and I'd go out there and fish at night. I watched these guys with kind of like a bamboo, I think it actually was aluminum, but it looked like a bamboo pole. And it had maybe 5 feet of line on it. No, I don't even think that much. And then literally a piece of aluminum on the end of that. Just a piece of aluminum with a hook on the end of it, a treble hook on the end of it. And they would swish this thing in the water in the pattern of an 8, back and forth, sometimes for 15 and 20 minutes straight. And then finally the snook would just get twisted and go, I've had enough of this thing, and bite it. And so I understand when you say you got to lay it right in front of them, because they can really be stubborn. I mean, from the experience that I've seen of them, they can really be stubborn.
Well, the smaller ones will move around a lot, but the bigger ones just don't like to move around a lot. They get in a spot where they know food will come by, and they just wait. So
wow. Yeah, it used to amaze me, these guys, and they would literally sit there and do that 8 pattern for 15, 20 minutes, and you could see the snook on. Now again, I don't know what it's like now, but back then they had lights on the pier, and where the light came down in the water and created a shadow, the snook would be inside the shadow, but just close enough to the edge of the light where you could see them. You could literally see them in the water. And they would just be sitting there watching this thing go back and forth, and then finally one of them would say, I've had enough, and go out and just, eat this thing quickly. And they have themselves a nice snook. It was amazing. They've always intrigued me. I think I've caught maybe a handful in my whole life. I've never caught a lot of snook. Snappers I've caught a lot of, groupers, grunts.
Well, if you've never eaten snook, it's one of the best tasting fish you will ever eat. So.
Yeah, I've had the luxury of, a couple of times of having it. It is great. One of my favorites is dolphin, mahi-mahi. When you said you're going down the Keys, oh my gosh. I'd love to be able to do that, to go down there and catch some dolphin and come back. My experience is it's almost, I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth, but it's almost impossible to ruin it. It's just so good. I've had it boiled, I've had it fried, I've had it barbecued, broiled. It's one of those fish that you can cook a wide variety of ways, and it always comes out good.
Yeah, mahi is hard to ruin. It really is.
You'd have to take a course on ruining mahi today. 101.
Yeah, I guess
Rudy
if
Meyer 101.
you burn it and turned it to charcoal, that would probably work. Other than that,
yeah, I think that might do the job right there. Oh my goodness! Wow. Anything else you want to share with us? Anything new going on? While I'm thinking about it, those who don't know, Robert also takes care of insurance, and we had him give us some pointers about insurance and boats. We're probably going to miss out on Captain Van Reenen on Paul, but so we'll kind of take this up in place of it. Those of us, those of people who own boats and we've had a severe problem of boats being missing, being taken, as well as things off the boats themselves. And you were kind enough to share some of the information. We'll kind of go over that real quick. If you have something
they just arrested a father and son boat theft ring that was operating out of Miami.
Oh, good.
And we were tracking a boat that was stolen out of, I believe, Virginia, all the way down the coast. There was people sending pictures in. We kept publishing them.
Wow.
And I think they finally caught the boat somewhere around the Orlando area, but it had come all the way down from Virginia.
Wow.
But yes, boats get stolen, lower units get stolen, sometimes just the entire engine comes off and gets stolen. Tackle gets stolen, electronics get stolen. When you're insuring all of these things, just make sure you have everything covered, not just the boat, because there's a lot of things on that boat that are worth a lot of money, especially with some of the newer electronics. They cost a fortune. Make sure your electronics are covered. If you leave your tackle on the boat, make sure that you have the right dollar amount to cover the tackle that's on the boat. And if you have any questions, you can just call us. We'll be happy to answer them for you. 772-692-9311 is the insurance office. And if you've got questions, we'll be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, give out the phone number one more time.
It's area code 772-692-9311.
And it's a Warner... What is a Warner Insurance Group?
Warner Insurance Group.
Yeah.
And, if anybody needs any help or just some guidance, we'll be glad to help you with that. If you need insurance, we'll help you with that.
Now, you mentioned...
If you've got questions about boats and how much it costs to insure different types of boats, we can help you with that. Because I can tell you this, and most people aren't aware of this, when you see those boats with those 3 and 4 engines on the back that'll go 70 miles an hour, it's not like insuring a Boston whaler. So
yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah.
I was going to mention something. My mind went completely blank. Let me see if I can gather my thoughts again. I know that you and I also spoke about. You mentioned electronics. I remember in the old days when I worked for Radio Shack. I would warn people if they were going to buy, back then it was 8-tracks. That's how old I am. If you're going to put an 8-track in your car, you want it covered, you have to have a special rider. And you had mentioned the same thing for boats. If you're going to put some kind of electronics on the boat that didn't come with the boat, is something that you're adding on, you've got to make sure that it's covered.
You need to make your agent aware of those things so that they are covered. And like I said, also with fishing tackle, I mean, most basic boat policies cover a certain amount of boat tackle, but if you've got Penn Internationals on there and some of you're talking $2,000-$3,000 reels in some cases.
Wow.
If you've got that sort of tackle that you're keeping on your boat, you need to make sure that you let your agent know what these things are. You're going to probably need to take some pictures of them and get them to your agent so that there's a record of them. And, you're going to have to add a rider to make sure that you have the correct dollar amount coverage for your tackle.
That's what I was looking for, a rider. I couldn't remember the name of it. You have to have a special rider for whatever it is that didn't come originally that the manufacturer didn't put in the boat. So if you've added a Garmin or if you've added whatever that might be that didn't come with the boat, you got to make sure that that's covered, because it's not automatically covered just because you've insured the boat. Am I correct?
Yeah, and a lot of the issues, yes, you are correct, and a lot of the issues, like I said, come with tackle. Yes, your boat policy, it's confusing because your boat policy covers X number of dollars of tackle depending on the price of the boat, but it does not cover, when you get into specialty equipment, there's fly rods that are thousands of dollars. There are reels that are thousands of dollars.
Wow.
It will not cover those unless they are itemized on a rider, and you're going to need pictures of them to prove that you had them to begin with. So,
and it's good to have
make
pictures
sure
of
you
them.
get that.
Yeah. To prove that it's yours. You know, I in a couple of
Absolutely.
stories.
And that all came about after Hurricane Andrew. So.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
when
a couple
people, reported their $40,000 golf clubs that were in the trunk of their car that blew away.
Yeah.
But
it's sad that people have to abuse the system, but that's what you get.
Yeah, now we have to have pictures of everything, just about. So,
but it's a good idea to have pictures to be able to prove that something was yours. There was an article.
Absolutely. Even on a homeowner's policy, on a homeowner's policy, if you've got a couple minutes to walk through your house with a video camera running or just a camera, put it on video, and video what's in your house. It makes it so easy for an insurance adjuster and for you to go, yeah, I did. There it is. It's in the picture.
Yeah, I learned that.
It only takes a couple of minutes to walk through your house with a video camera. So
I learned that from Hurricane Andrew. That's the reason I'm up in Palm Beach County. We lost the entire neighborhood in Hurricane Andrew, and that was one of the things I did not do.
I had a friend that lost his everything. So he lived in the Redlands, and I couldn't even
find
his house
that was amazing. It was amazing. All right, it's that magic moment. We're going to take off for a break here, and we will be back in just a moment. Don't go away. Let me see if I can find it here. My little computer that I use that runs all this stuff for me is acting strangely. Maybe it's battery shorting out or something. It's not doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Just having a bad day.
It's just acting up. I press a button and it doesn't want to. There it goes. There we go.
There we go.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
From the author of Silent Steps and Haunted, Finding an Explanation for the Unknown, comes a story so chilling it will haunt you for years to come. Krista is a young woman escaping her past, running away from her family, her traumas, and her God, hoping to find a new life in a different town. But when she is forced to make a horrible choice, she comes to realize malevolent entities have controlled the true darkness she has been a part of. That is when her real terror begins. Penitence is disturbing and evocative. It will tear down the walls between what is real and what is nightmare. Penitence is the new novel by the man called the new master of speculative fiction, Ira Robinson. Find it and all of his books at his website, originalworlds.com.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Leiza Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Leiza Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Leiza Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@leiza-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Leiza Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today. 561-793-9992. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, where your pet gets celebrity treatment.
Can I tell you a cat joke?
Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. Good morning to you. We are here every Sunday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. You can find us easily. Many different ways you can listen to us. The easiest of all of those, of course, is to download the Fish Florida app. And that is an absolutely free download, absolutely free app. It's not just a way to listen to the show, by the way. It is a way to do a wide variety of things. You can actually apply for a fishing license. You can apply for a fishing license off of the app. But there's a whole wide variety of things. It's an actual powerful tool in the palm of your hand. Tells you a wide variety of information. And it's a free download, free to use, Fish Florida app, part of the Fish Florida Association. If you want more information about the association, send me an email. And it's easy to contact me. You can find me on Facebook, you can fishfloridashow.com, or you can send an email to me at riscalastevens, STEVENS.com, and I'll give you more information about how to become part of the association, which is, in a way, kind of an alliance. So the greatest thing about it is it gives back to the community. You guys who listen to me at all, you know that I love giving back to the community. I love supporting people who give back because everybody benefits. And guess what? You and I are part of everybody. All right, so this morning I've got Robert Warner. Robert Warner is the editor of the Florida Fisherman magazine. He's been kind enough to spend some time with me this morning because my co-host, my normal co-host, my usual co-host, I guess I should say, is out there in the boonies somewhere. She's out of bounds. She's fishing, doing her kayak thing. So Robert has been gracious enough to step up. Thank you, Robert. Greatly appreciate it.
Yep, Pam is off the radar.
But, you know, I've got somebody who I've kind of missed for a while, and they kind of scooted out of here, out of Florida, and on up to way up there north to Alaska, and got the dream job that you could just only dream about, and that is being in a pristine environment. And I am honored and privileged to have her with me because she's taking the time out to call me. And that, of course, is the Florida Salty Cowgirl, Angelia. Good morning.
Good morning. You are flattering the heck out of me. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Angelia.
Can everybody hear me again?
Oh, I hear you.
Yep.
Fine. So, you know, I've said a couple of times that you were fortunate, but really the reality of it is you were deserving of the opportunity. And so fortune may have played a very small part of it, but it was really more of a deserving, somebody who met the qualifications of what they were looking for. And some of the posts that you have put up are just phenomenal. I want to ask you about what did it feel like to be around all the orcas?
Oh my goodness. I can't even describe. There's no words to describe. You know, I think it's even different again, being a little girl that grew up in Florida and being around the whole Shamu thing and all. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's even a little bit different. It's a little even more mind-boggling to you to realize that they don't just live. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, Marcel. It's just too amazing.
And you were.
It's really unbelievable.
I know the video doesn't do justice, but it appeared as though they were pretty close, right? They were pretty close by.
Pretty darn close. And there were about 20 around us. And no, the video would never do it justice because my hands were shaking, my adrenaline was pumping. I couldn't wait to see one. I never thought a pod would pop up around the boat, you know?
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
And how much time did you get to spend with them?
You know, they hung with the boat for a long time, probably about 15 minutes they hung with the boat. And when you're in awe like that, that's a really, really long time.
Yeah. A minute seems like a lifetime. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they hung with the boat for a long time. And a lot of that's far. You know, it's so funny because things don't look really far away with the eye. And then when you take a picture of them, it looks a million miles away.
Yeah.
But, you know, of course, we could see them hanging with the boat forever, or for what felt like was forever. I only wish that I had some high-powered camera or drones or something I could film it with.
Was it a purposeful encounter? Did you mean to catch up to them, or were you out there fishing and they showed up?
No, we were just cruising along, traveling on one of the inside passages.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we weren't. It was absolutely. I don't know that you could ever purposely encounter them. You know.
Well, I mean, in the sense that there are places that is known that they frequent quite a bit, so you could go to that pace, and the odds of you seeing them would be much higher. But it sounds like that's not what you were doing.
No, not at all. In fact, I've been just incredibly blessed because I've traveled most of Alaska by water this summer. In fact, I've traveled all of Southeast Alaska by water.
Wow.
So once again, when you spend that much time on the water and you follow that much, spend your time on that much of the waterways, you're bound to have some encounters here and there.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is. The more time you spend on the water, your odds go up.
Yeah, I agree.
I've been very, very lucky, and I've had some really neat whale encounters too. I mean, really neat whale encounters. Really neat.
So how many whales did you get to see?
You know, the first time that the whales, I kept seeing spouts in the distance for about 3 weeks. And like I said, I'm hardcore traveling on the water up here in Alaska for all of that time. And, man, every time I saw a spout in the distance, I'd have binoculars on it and just couldn't wait to get a better sighting. And one day we're in a place called Chatham Straits. I'll never forget it. And, a couple of the whales are cruising along beside the boat, and it was the closest I had ever seen. So I got really, really excited. And before you know it, one just completely comes out of the water and breaches.
Wow.
I mean, I literally screamed bloody murder. One day I'll put the video up and you guys can laugh at me. and they continue to do this and follow along with us for quite a while. Now it's pretty amazing. I had a really neat whale encounter outside of Glacier Bay in the middle of the night. Well, I say middle of the night, about 4 a.m. We had all the windows open because that was when it was so warm up here in Alaska. And we had all the windows open on the boat. We were anchored in a little cove. And I woke up to go to the ladies' room at 4 o'clock in the morning. And there's a whale about 6 feet outside my bathroom port window on the boat, just spouting. So I ran up to the top of the boat, and it's kind of not really light, but not really dark, and there was like 6 whales just like checking out the boat.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the most surreal thing in the world, and their spouts were so loud, and you could just about feel the mist on your face. They were just surrounding the boat, just checking out the boat.
Oh, awesome.
It was the coolest thing. Yeah.
Awesome. So how long have you been up there now?
Over 3 months.
You got up there when? July?
May 20th.
May?
No, May 20th.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Wow. And you're due back when?
I'll be back before the end of September. I'm not exactly sure yet, but we'll start heading back south sometime soon. And, I'm still traveling on the water, so I get to travel the inside of passages back, Discovery Passage. If anybody's ever heard about that, it's just amazing. And I'm hoping for some more whale sightings and experiences.
So
yeah, it's really been amazing.
a silly question. Is there icebergs in the water? I know it's stupid, but I want to ask.
No, that's not a stupid. Being from Florida, I had no idea. There's been so many things up here that have blown my mind because I didn't know what to expect. I would have asked the same thing. But no, and up in Glacier Bay, around the actual glaciers, where the temperature just drops right down, there's absolutely ice in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely have to navigate around ice. But in the normal summertime here in Alaska, no, there's no ice in the water. Maybe if you went really, really, really north, there would be, but no. Glacier Bay, definitely there was ice around the glaciers.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow.
But that's the ice in the water that I've seen, thank goodness.
Have you seen any wildlife while you were there?
Absolutely. Some really, really cool bear sightings on the shorelines. I'm always looking out for bears. Of course, my whales, my orcas. There's some little porpoises called doll porpoises. They call them the sports car of the marine mammal world, and they are just the neatest things. They look like little orcas, and they'll zip around the boat like bees. They're just really neat. Yeah, really neat.
Wow.
Some of the bear sites have been super cool because the bears sit on the shoreline and stare down your boat just as hard as you're staring him down, and it's really odd. It's like looking straight at us.
Wow.
Up in Glacier Bay was really neat because you want to talk about National Geographic. There was some actual ice floats outside some of the glaciers, and they were covered with little baby seals, just like you'd see, Yeah, really neat.
Wow.
Little big-eyed baby just floating on the ice. I can't see where that would be comfortable. And, of course, there's sea lions everywhere up here. There's a lot of sea lion haul-outs and really neat creatures, very stinky creatures, but really neat. Little otters everywhere, big otters everywhere. Otters everywhere. I wish I could float on my back on the water like an otter. Pretty neat.
Yeah,
neat.
Yeah, they can float and eat at the same time. It's pretty cool.
And I've seen hundreds and hundreds of moose cross the sign. And I was really lucky to get to go out to the Kenai Peninsula. That's a whole nother story. But I was going to the airport at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and darn if in bad visibility and a little bit of weather, and darn if there wasn't a moose in the middle of the road.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I've seen hundreds of moose crossing
Oh, my
signs, and now
gosh.
I know what they're for.
And they're big, aren't they? It's amazing how big they are.
They're huge, and you just sitting in the. I should say she just stand in the middle of the street, and it, like I said, I just look up and I see a big, outline of a moose in the road in the darkness. I'm like, great, a moose on the loose. So yeah, it's really neat wildlife. And by the way, the bald eagles up here are thick. There's so many bald eagles up here, you'd be amazed.
Wow. So what is the air temperature like?
It's in the 50s. It's been in the 50s for the most part for me during the day, except for when we had our little heat wave this summer. It got up into the 70s, or low 60s, I should say, 50s, low 60s. Some of my summer got up into the 70s. Up in the Kenai Peninsula, it was definitely in the 70s,
Wow.
which is kind of odd because it's hundreds of miles north.
Wow.
Southeast Alaska is notoriously known for being foggy and rainy, so I figured it was a good fit being from Florida. But yeah, it doesn't. The strangest thing, it's not been very, very cold. I guess I've been through the whole summer now, so when I got here it was a little chillier, and I went through the heat of the summer, or what heat they get, and now it's starting to get chilly again. So, yeah, that's kind of scary.
And what do you...
Yeah, by the end of September, it'll have really cooled off up there. So.
Exactly, yes. It'll definitely be cold again.
She's going to be gone by then, right? You're going to be gone by the
Yeah,
by
I'll
the
be
time.
out of here. Absolutely. I'll be out of here by then. All the smart people are.
What do you think the average water temperature is?
The water temperatures, I know this, Riscala, because I'm terrified of this cold water. It's about 50, 51 degrees. Wow. And the average adult human being has about 5 minutes in this water up here before you go into hypothermia. So it's killed me to be in all this water and not be in all this water. I could look at it and I could fish in it, but I can't touch it, and I'm actually kind of terrified of it being from Florida, and I love the water, and I'm an avid diver, but you can't pay me to get in this water. It's way too cold. But yeah, there's warnings everywhere. All your Tide books have warnings about hypothermia and going into shock, going into the water too fast, and your body going into shock. And oh yeah, this water scares the heck out of me. And by the way, when we went up into Glacier Bay, where there was ice in the water temperature dropped to 38 degrees.
Wow.
I know, that really scared me. I wanted to tether myself to the boat.
I don't know if you saw this, Angelia, but there was a commercial fisherman out of Oregon that sent me some pictures of mahi he caught while tuna fishing in 61-degree water off the coast of Oregon.
No
that was
way.
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah. It was crazy. That was crazy.
Wow, that would be amazing.
They caught like 5 of them in the course of a week.
Unbelievable.
All in the same area, all while tuna fishing in water, he said, ranged from 55 to 61 degrees. So,
Were they lost?
Apparently, Apparently, they left San Diego and made the wrong turn. But
exactly, they were lost.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, hang on with me. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. When we come back, I want to ask you about tides, because I know some crazy stuff you're going to tell me about tides. All right, here we go. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What's up, Ricky Dillon here at the largest social media gathering in the world. So the internet is an amazing place, but sometimes it can be a not so great place with online bullying and trolling and stuff. Have you ever seen online bullying before?
Unfortunately, it's kind of common. Online, people can hide behind the internet. Those comment sections can be a little
harsh.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a good word for it.
I've been called many homophobic names. I felt embarrassed. I felt humiliated. It made me stop liking myself.
What if I told you there is something that you can use anytime that you see bullying online that calls attention to it in a nice way? Like, hey, that's not nice.
I wish that was the thing.
It's this! So anytime that you see any kind of hate online, go into your phone, go into the symbol section, post this I, and it says that that's bullying, that's not nice. So would you post this if you saw someone bullying someone?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a lot more mature way to handle situations. Find the emoji in your phone, send it to 5 of your friends, and let them know what it means to be a witness.
Go to eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more about the emoji.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478. Diane Whittick at Bowen Realty, located in Wellington at Wellington Trace East and Forest Hill Boulevard. 561-247-5478.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclub.com. www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Shark, fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show, an honor and a privilege to have you listen in and allow us to share with you this morning. A beautiful morning here in South Florida. Woke up this morning to a little bit of fog, which was unusual for me in this area anyway. And other than that, it's just looks like a gorgeous day. Get out there and enjoy it while you can, because we are in the pattern. We're in the summer pattern where come around afternoon, it heats up, and before you know it, we have what's called liquid sunshine. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's rain, and we get quite a bit of it during this time of the year. Now, this morning, I have the opportunity to have Robert Warner with Florida Fisherman magazine as my co-host. And I am so grateful for that, because Pam is off the radar, as he says. She's out of bounds. We can't hear from her this morning. She's out in the boonies fishing in a tournament. North Florida, I believe, on this one. And we'll get an update on that when she comes back next week. In the interim of all of that, we have Angelia, the Florida Salty Cowgirl. She has spent her summer in a beautiful place up in Alaska, and she's been kind enough to call in. She's in Alaska right now. And she's been kind enough to call in and share with us some of her experience up there. One of the things that she mentioned to me that I thought was really, just outrageous was tides. You mentioned some really serious tides that go on up there, huh?
Crazy tides. And let's go. Since we last spoke, I got a really unique opportunity, and it worked out, and it's a whole nother story. But I actually went up to when I was talking about the Kenai Peninsula, I went up there and I actually worked on a fishing charter boat for a few weeks.
Wow.
Just worked out. Don't even ask. It was just, I'm blessed. And, and down in the Southeast, the more north you go, the more daylight you get, the more extreme tides you get. And I've been in Southeast Alaska traveling. So it's a completely different animal on a very big boat, on an 80-foot boat. So I've actually lived with a tide book that you can pick up at any harbor, any sporting goods store, anywhere, any bait or tackle store. People live with tide books up here, and I've lived with a tide book, planning my traveling, trying to get a push from the tide with this big boat that only goes about 8.5 knots normally. If the tide's working against you, it's really bad. But up here where I'm at in Southeast Alaska, we get anywhere from 17 to 20-foot tides on a normal basis. And that's really, really unusual for us in Florida.
That's insane, yeah.
When you have to plan your life by the tides. Well, it got really interesting for me, guys, because when I went up to the Kenai Peninsula to work on a charter fishing boat for several weeks, which was just an amazing experience, since I was several hundred miles north, the tides were about 30 foot average a day.
Smokes. Oh,
and
my gosh.
Since I was on a 6-pack fishing boat and I was going out fishing every day in Cook Inlet with 6 people, you literally plan, like in Florida, you do a fishing charters, and your fishing charters run from 7 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon or whatever, and that's your schedule, unless the time changes, and you might shift it an hour when the time changes, but no. Up here, guys, one day your charter will leave at 6:30 a.m., and the next day your charter will leave at 11 a.m., and the next day your charter will leave at...
because of the tide. Wow.
Fish with the tide. Yeah, you have to fish with the tides, and then they even get tides that they call negative tides and plus tides, and it'll be a negative 3.5 foot tide, which means it's negative 3.5 feet past mean low. I mean, do the math on that. It's crazy.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, there's not supposed to be
So
anything below mean low.
there-
You know?
there are-
and the fish are supposed to bite on the low tides as well as on the high tides. So you try to fish the high tides, but sometimes your timing just doesn't work out. But it was so unusual for me to be fishing at all different times. And then the tide is screaming your line. It's scoping out hundreds of yards when you first get there. And you can literally watch it get better and better and better. And when the tide is slack for that 30 minutes or so, it'll be straight up and down, and then it starts screaming out the other direction. You can just see the tide.
I was going to say it must be really, really fast. I mean, 30 feet. Oh my gosh!
You have no idea how fast it screams in. We're fishing up there in Cook Inlet with 5-pound leads, you guys. 5-pound leads. You get a workout.
I give you a workout just getting the lead up and down.
I'm telling you. Oh my gosh!
I posted a picture of a big skate that was caught, and you can see the 5-pound lead. And somebody actually noticed it and said, "Holy moly, look at that lead! Yikes!" And I'm thinking, you have no idea.
Wow.
When I first saw these 5-pound leads, I'm like, what the heck are you guys crazy up here? What is this for? Now I know what it's for. But yes, the tide's insane, and you really, when you work on the water, when you live on the water, you live with a tide book. You don't know, guys. I've set up many a nights with the tide book trying to plan my next day, and the tides are crucial up here. It makes
Just out of curiosity, what time is it there now?
It's 5:50 in the morning. I'm 4 hours behind you guys.
God
you're
bless
4
you.
hours later than I am. I set the alarm for 5 a.m. for you guys.
Wow.
But yeah, it's fine.
And how much
Go ahead.
darkness is there?
I was just
Is
going
it
to say,
dark?
there's finally starting to be more darkness. It's not dark now. No, it's pure daylight.
No, and the reason I mentioned that is I had a friend that went up there with a motorhome and forgot about the fact that they have 20 hours of daylight, and decided he wanted the spot right next to the pool. And he said that was a horrible mistake. He said there's people barbecuing and partying at 3 a.m. So
summer solstice was June 21st, and that was the longest day of the year. And I'm sure we got 21 hours of daylight then. And yes, it destroyed between the time change and it not getting dark. And I kept traveling. I picked up this boat in Vancouver, and I kept traveling north and north and north. And the more north I went, the more daylight there was. And then I kept traveling north again, and the more daylight there was. So I've learned that you put a towel over your windows and you make yourself black, or else you can't sleep.
Get one of those.
Yeah, that's what he said he ended up doing, was aluminum foiling all the windows in his motorhome and moving away from the pool.
A lot of people have to cover their windows, and I'm one of them. Yeah, I have to, because you wake up early in the morning to go to the restroom or something, and then you can't go back to sleep because your head's telling you it's daylight, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, how
and
crazy!
We've got in trouble not coming back at dinner time because we're fishing, and all of a sudden we look at the time and it's 10 o'clock at night, and you don't know because it's pure daylight, and then we
How
come back
crazy.
and we're in trouble because dinner was waiting for us for hours. So it's really, really weird. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I always tell everybody, if it's dark, I know I should be asleep.
Now, Robert grew up around the time I grew up, and when we were growing up, you went out when the sun came up, and you came home when the sun went down. Hey, you
That's
imagine
pretty much how
that?
my life worked. Yep.
Can you
I guess I'd
imagine
be
that?
out 20 hours a day now so up there.
Yeah, it's really strange, guys, because people really will work at all times of the day and night.
Wow.
You'll see whole crews showing up at boats at 8 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking that's so weird, but I guess it's really not.
Well, I mean, if it's broad daylight out, it's like your sensors aren't kicking in. Your sleep sensors are. Well, what are you talking about? It's broad daylight. I don't care. It's 10 o'clock at night. It's broad daylight. What are you talking about? Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, you find yourself almost getting used to it. Another experience I was really blessed with was fishing for sockeye salmon on the Kenai River. Just an amazing experience. But the first time I went out there, I met the group to go out there at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was pure daylight.
Wow.
We're on the river at 4 o'clock in the morning launching a boat. Another time I went out there, I hiked through the woods a couple miles with all the gear, and we fished from a gravel bar out on the river, and it was just amazing. But that day we went out there, we didn't get to the river till about 5 o'clock. We were like, it doesn't matter because it doesn't get dark until 11 o'clock at night, so we've got plenty of time to fish.
11 o'clock.
Yep, lots of time.
So you almost get used to it, and it's kind of weird because your timing, it just doesn't really matter because it's always daylight, you know. A cute story, I was kind of miserable with the daylight for quite a while, and several weeks into my trip, it was the middle of the night, and I woke up, and I went up into the main galley of this boat to forage for some food, you know. It was one of those nights. But all of a sudden, I realized it was completely dark. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and it literally was completely dark. And it was the first time I'd experienced darkness, like real darkness, since I'd been here. And I enjoyed it so much that instead of sleeping, I sat in the fly bridge just looking at the sky, enjoying the darkness. The other thing I miss, guys, is thunder and lightning. No matter how much rain they can get up here, the sky is silent. And it's really bothering me.
I don't know if I could deal with that. So.
Wow.
Neither, Robert.
So wait a minute.
Me.
Are you saying that they have thunder? They have back up a minute, Riscala. They have rainstorms.
There's rain, but no thunder.
There's no thunder and no lightning up here at all.
But they have rainstorms. So, but it rains, right? It rains hard.
You know what's really funny? It rains every day, this misty, light, miserable rain. And I don't mean to be bad because in southeast Alaska, it's way worse than other parts. But yes, it'll rain this misty rain every day, but hardly any of it sticks to the ground. Like Florida gets 100 times more rain a year than they do up here as far as inches go. It rains buckets at home. Like somebody told me the other day, boy, it's really coming down. And I'm like, wait a second, it's barely sticking to this, barely can see it on the water, you know?
Well, if you stay there for winter, I'm sure that there's snow sticks. So.
Sure it does, yeah. But the no thunder and the no lightning thing is driving me crazy. That's too quiet.
Well, you're going to come back to Florida just as daylight saving times end, so you'll have short days when you get back. So.
I thought about that too, Robert. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. As soon as I get home, I'll have nothing but darkness.
So all of that daylight that you've been dealing with for how many months now, you're going to catch up on.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I don't even know. And watching the sunset at a diagonal angle is interesting. We're used to the sun coming straight up on the West Coast. The East Coast going straight down on the West Coast, you know. And up here, it comes up at a diagonal angle over the horizon. And then watching it set at a diagonal angle is just the most trippy thing in the world.
It just makes an arc. Yeah.
How crazy.
It does, and it arcs around the sky all day long, too. And it's like, it's so strange. It took so long to get used to. I put up a little slideshow, actually, of it setting at a diagonal angle because people just can't grasp that. I couldn't. I'm watching it going, something's wrong. But, yeah, it's really interesting up here. Just being that much closer to the poles is really, you really get to feel that whole experience with the daylight and the tides. And, it's really cool. Very, very cool.
Get to see the northern lights?
No northern lights. No, actually, it's got to be very, very dark to see the northern lights, so you're more likely to see them in the winter. And they do see them in the summer. They're really inland, like in Fairbanks, which is probably the only major Alaska city that I haven't been to because it's not on the coast. It's so far inland. But from that far inland and that far north, they say you can see them. But no northern lights, guys. That stinks, but no northern lights. Plus, I was too tired every day to stay up all night long. So I'm not really sure. It could have been, but I probably missed it.
It may have been there and I missed it. Yeah.
I've not wanted to close my eyes, so I pretty much run 16 hours a day and slept with my boots on the floor some nights. But every second worth it. So I've run harder on any time off I've had from the contract job I signed this summer than I ran harder on my time off than I have working. So it's been really fun. It's been a great experience.
Well, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking time to call in.
One last thing, Ristella.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You asked me one time, what is a typical day like, run you through a typical day up here, and I've giggled about that ever since. There's no typical day in Alaska. No typical day in Alaska on the water, that's for sure.
Well, I'm eager for you to come back home if that's what it is to you. I know that you're originally from the West Coast, but you're going to come back to the Keys, right? You're going to end back up in the Keys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's kind of a selfish thing for me because I enjoy having you on every Sunday and giving us the Keys report. And but it's been
my heart is with you.
it's been absolutely amazing to hear the report from Alaska. So before I let you go, let me give Robert an opportunity to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to having you on again. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, well, yeah. I hope you enjoy the rest of your trip up there, and we'll see you when you get back.
Yeah, it's Great Lanes, guys. I'll be back in about a month or less.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Robert. Greatly appreciated you stepping up for me today. Wish everybody a great week. We'll see you in a week.